afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for April 20th, 2020, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern. There is an alternative for people to get while they're still working on the bottleneck of this, on the conference calling. And if you need it, just send me an email at thesilvergalaxy@protonmail.com. If you're still having issues of getting on, it doesn't work on all applications, but it does work. And sometimes VoIP or Voice over Internet Protocol will say that I've muted the call, so it picks it up differently. So what I do, like we never had any problem before, is that I will mute everybody, and then they'll be able to unmute themselves. And then I go in and I mute it so they can't unmute themselves. So I don't know if it's because of their system, because it's a little twisted right now that they're working on it, because we've never had the issue before. In other words, there are solutions and it'll be rectified. Period. So in this shift that's happening, this pure consciousness shift that's occurring. Now, remember this and understand it. When we project negative frequency, we create negative happenings. When we lower frequencies, people say, well, you've got to, you got to be informed about this, and you got to be shared this, and you got to be, woken up because of this information, that information. Yeah, that's understandable. But when you're trying to convey information to people, public audiences, you understand that this has been a matrix, this has been a structure on this planet forever. It's never not been. And the structure that has been in place forever is basically you take the process of the civilization through I guess you could call it direction, and then you shift it into another direction, and so on and so forth. See, on this planet, there are so many different participants in existence, not just on-worlders, but off-worlders. And everybody's trying to convey their agenda. It's pretty much a real miscombobulated mess. And so do you choose to continue to engage that? See, we've been taught that we are to affect change, we have to use aggressive tendencies, we have to use force. And I don't mean force from the standpoint of guns, because, demonstrations type thing, where, we want to voice the fact that we don't, care to have this going on or that going on any longer. But I don't think the civilization understands something. In order to move into a higher frequency, none of this matters. You see what I mean? And it's all within us. It's not something that it's not something we're going to correct outside of ourselves. And that's always the way it's been driven. And I don't know how many of you have, it becomes so redundant and so repetitive throughout the generations and decades. As since the 50s, when television was first put on to advertise to the people. Basically, television was created to advertise and to do subliminal suggestive training to the brains of the civilization. So, it's kind of like this is no different than it was 50 years ago. It really isn't. It's the same. And you begin to understand that, and then you say, why would I continue interacting with this? Why would I continue to create it? Why would I do that? Why am I not moving into the higher frequency within myself and discovering the God that I am and the joy that I am, the peace that I am? Because it's never been about what's out there. It's never been about that. And I think that people, decide that on their own, and they come in their own way, in their own direction, to determine for themselves is that I really don't care to interact with this any longer. My journey is within myself, and within myself I'll find all the answers. And that's true. That's how it works. You find your answers within, in the journey within. And when you connect with the source, when you connect to all things of that which you are, it becomes almost superfluous to view the external, because you control the external. It doesn't control you. And that's what you find out when you travel within. When you go within yourself and you start discovering these different aspects, these perspectives, that you start interacting with your God, which is pure consciousness, you begin to realize that everything that you are, you've been seeking outside yourself. And it's really, it's interesting how many of us never get to that stage because we are so seduced to externalism. We are seduced into externalism. And with externalism, we then have an overactive ego mind. So the ego is overactive, and it causes us, I'm this and I'm that, and I have this and I have that. It is ego. And the civilization responds because it's bicameral, that those who boast and stuff and claim, I always get nervous when someone says they're an expert, because there really is no such thing. It's another word invented. But you begin to realize that it is up to each and every one of us to discover the gods that we are. Discover the God. And then nurture the God and interact with the God. And then you begin to realize is that all this other stuff that we've been, chasing and pursuing is inside of us. It's inside. It's in our core. It's core existence. The outward avenue is it's superfluous. Many people have exhausted themselves through their life searching for what's out there. What can I find out there? So it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse. Before you know who and what you are, you're already out there trying to find out who and what you are. And we realize that, can you understand, imagine that you will get to a point where there will be no right or wrong. Like whenever you had to make a challenging decision in your life, you just didn't know the answer to it right away. And you often over question yourself and constantly think, is this the right or wrong decision? We've all done that for me to take. Now, perhaps we have a much bigger life question that's always lurking in the background, such as, what am I supposed to do with my life? What is the real priority in some way? And many of us are caught up in believing that if we can make the right decisions, stay on the good path and off the bad path, we will be rewarded in some way. And this may be true to some degree, yet in the grand infinite journey of life, your soul is interested in something much more intriguing. I remind myself every morning, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening. And that came, interestingly enough, from Larry King. I remind myself every morning, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening. So our soul is much more advanced than our mind could ever be. It has a deeper intuitive knowing buried within its core that feels which decisions will lead to more joy, bliss, and freedom. Feel. This is through the heart-mind. The decision may be as simple as which food is best for my highest health and consciousness to evolve, yet the choice is always available to hear from your soul's perspective if you ask and listen. So have you ever had a conversation with yourself? You're somewhere, okay? And you say to yourself, and you say to your God, you say, God, what do you think of this? Do you think this is the right choice for me? And you'll get a feeling, right? And you will move based on that feeling. And a lot of us just kind of randomly will pick this or pick that. Yet the choice is always available to hear from our soul's perspective. The point is that most of us don't listen. And life is easy living from your spiritual nature. Easy. Life is easy living from your spiritual nature because it understands the bigger spiritual picture behind everything. It sees how every decision is a big decision to become more connected to higher consciousness. And as this choice is found within every small decision, our souls, our spirit, our higher self, our God inherently knows that it is always connected with the one infinite divinity that is the source of all consciousness. And it is pure consciousness. And this choice is found always if you listen. It knows it is always already at home and in something much greater than anything found in this material world. So it doesn't worry about right or wrong at all. It knows that life is a game to play, and the goal is to spread as much joy as possible from realizing the spiritual reality is our innermost nature. It's our natural state of being. The spiritual reality, our God, it's a natural state of being for us. Now, the word advanced, the more advanced souls can see this and understand that living from this connection is the real goal and the ultimate perpetual decision to be made in each moment of this lifetime. And to see the true spiritual reality is the real rather than the false, finite, physical simulation. Any other goal in life is an egoic distraction. Every other goal in life is an egoic extraction. The media we pay so much attention to has missed this. They have been desperately trying to hypnotize everyone to believe their way is the best way. And once you realize this bigger truth is the only thing worth putting your precious life energy into, there eventually comes a moment when the matrix illusion and I don't know how many of you have experienced this yet, it doesn't suck you in, yet only exemplifies its plastic connection to the spiritual truth. Its perpetual, unsatisfying disconnection makes it easier to remain permanently connected to the greater spiritual reality. Before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish, Albert Einstein. Before God, what does that mean? It means pure consciousness. It means the collective. It means the one. A small child growing up in the 70s, okay, imagine, I don't know how many of you grew up in the 70s, it was considered a treat to eat out at the newest fast food restaurants. And you remember, and I remember in the 60s, you know, traveling across the country from airbase to airbase or flying here or there, that my parents, you'd be standing in a queue with your parents with a long line of hungry people behind you. And you would feel deeply pressured to quickly decide what you were going to order. Do you remember that? Did you feel that when you were a kid with your parents back in the 70s or even the 60s, where you're standing in line, because then they didn't have the sit-down fast food restaurants. You went up to a window and you ordered, and there are a line of people behind you. And the people, you felt the pressure to make a decision quickly, so that you wouldn't, you know, clog the line up, okay? And the moment you stood at the counter, your parents would say, hurry up, come on, to start priding you on what you wanted to eat. You see, you knew you had to make up your mind, or you were not going to eat anything for lunch that day. So the little decision created such a deep emotional turmoil in your being, it stuck with you for years. And looking back, now you can understand why it was so hard to make a decision. Is because your soul was in charge of your body, and it didn't want to eat any fast fried food on their unhealthy menu. We don't pick up on that. We don't. There's a deep misguidance within all of us. And that misguidance says to not trust your innermost nature. And it says follow the crowd. Don't make things difficult for others, and don't follow your own truth. And this misguided truth says that this path is right, and that path is wrong. And there is no wrong path on infinite journey, because all roads eventually lead to the exact same place. The fear behind right and wrong choices are social habits handed down from our parents, their parents, their parents, their parents, siblings, friends, and media, and the great societal mass unconsciousness. And the self-mistrust is deeply embedded in our own thinking patterns. We have developed this internalized pressure to always do, say, and think the right thing. And this pressure has caused us to forget the most important spiritual destination of our lives. And the social tension has created such a deep disconnection with our own heart and soul that we don't know what we want or don't want. We cannot feel the essence of our hearts and souls. And instead, we feel an absence of our spiritual path. We constantly feel that we are perpetually hankering or yearning for something we are missing from the outside. And there are so many decisions and choices to be made every day that we forget the greatest and most obvious one, is to be vulnerable with life so we can feel our delicate soul in the here and now. And it is difficult for many of us to experience moments of happiness if we are not aware of what it is we genuinely love. And we are not aware that we are the love and that we can be in happiness always. Because if we continue to attach to the physical, we will only have moments of joy and happiness and centeredness and focus. But when we move within and discover just exactly who and what we are, then all of that matrix stuff outside of us drops away. What we are all searching for is an unlimited, unending connection with a real feeling of universal love. What we are all searching for is an unlimited, unending connection with a real feeling of universal love. And the truth is that all moments in life, good or bad, contain the possibility of finding this love within. And the real goal of every soul is to live in this love by realizing that it is connected to this infinite source of love. And it is made from this love. And what the mind has forgotten is that every situation and decision, right or wrong, has the potential to lead us into the self-realized and God-realized space. And from this place, there is no worry, stress, or fear about doing the right or wrong thing. And from this state of being, you cannot make a wrong decision. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want. And if they can't find them, they make them. George Bernard Shaw. Good quote. We all know the mind is a funny thing. We can watch how it is always trying to make the right choices which lead to a better life. It wants to acquire better material possessions, have more money, make life better. The mind is invested in creating a better future and uninterested in the divinity and infinite universe that's already here now. Understand that. The mind is not interested in that. The mind is invested in creating a better future and uninterested in the divinity and infinite universe that's already here now. So the mind is deeply rooted in a need to control your life and make sure everything goes according to its plan. It thinks it knows the way life always should be. And this neediness to be in control of life is exactly what is creating the suffering inside of us. Once we realize that it does not matter so much what we decide, do, or say, as much as how intimately connected we feel to our spiritual nature inside, then years and lifetimes of misguided suffering will instantly fade away. And what I mean is that years and lifetimes of misguided suffering will instantly fade away. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die today. And no author, that's an unknown author. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die today. And the only way to discover this place of freedom is to look deeper within, go beyond the mind and our programming around what is right and wrong and simply look at what is at the source of here and now. And to go inside of oneself means to drop the outer world absolutely, completely, and discover that this universal love is abundantly within. And this takes tremendous focus and courage and determination to break free from the situations you believe are outside and inside of you. Now, these experiences seem as if they are ones creating your suffering, whereas the truth is that we are totally responsible and have the power to decide what we want to feel at any given time. Understand, you determine what you want or desire to feel. Not out there, you do. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And then go do that. Because what the world needs are people who have come alive. Harold Whitman. Make the decision to let go of your entrenched struggle and with right and wrong, and simply use your energy to consciously choose to access this unlimited source of love inside you every single second of every day. And once you decide to remain open and curious and find that what ultimately brings peace to your body and mind, in each new moment, you will discover that this infinite divine interconnection is already here now. This is the greatest and most fulfilling exploration any of us can undertake during our lifetimes. And try this for the next 24 hours. Invitation to all of you is to dive more deeply within yourselves than you have ever done before, and challenge you to set your worries aside. Think only positive thoughts and believe that the world is for you, not against you. Decide to make each day an invitation to find a deeper source of peace within your innermost being. Commit to relaxing, being at ease, and doing nothing but breathe for at least 15 minutes every day. You can release yourself from the prison of any worry, fear, or tension that you've created in your mind. And this, your day, to be gentle and loving with yourself in the most intimate and sensitive ways so that you can profoundly enjoy this amazing life. Dramatically liberate your life by increasing your ability to create into reality what you desire. So drop all of the external worries, stresses, and fears. And understand that the happiness, the joy, and the bliss is with you, is with your God, is within. And we determine, we direct how we're going to feel, how we're going to be. How much joy are you going to enjoy today with you? How much love and happiness with you are you going to partake in, interact with? You see, when I say it's nothing about out there, that's a definitive. That's exact. It is nothing about what's out there. It is all about what's in you. That's the true journey. Within. Within, within. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is to relax our bodies. Let it all go. You know, it's like you got pockets full of stuff. And before you go to bed, you dump all your pockets, all the stuff onto the dresser. You see, you dump the mind. You dump the mind. You dump everything that you have attracted and brought in. All of it. Okay? So it's empty. And then you leave it alone. And then you relax your body. You say, body, it's time for us to relax. Drop the shoulders and let's let all of this tension, stress, anxiety that I have allowed myself to build up within me, and disperse it, let it go. I have no reason to hold on to any of it. None of it. Period. All the scuttle-buttle, all the stuff zooming around all the time. I don't care to jump on that train at all. So the body relaxes, and as the body relaxes, you move into the now. And the now is all we have. Does it make any sense for any of us to go into our past, bring the past into the future, create our future from the past, which is dead, and relive the past in our future? Does that make any sense for any of us? Instead, we know the past is gone. We don't visit it. We don't reminisce it. There's no reason to. It's seductive. It's very, very seductive. It's very enticing because some of the experiences we've had in the past are very seductive. They pull us. But as soon as we go in there, we begin creating our futures from that. So it's always moving forward. It's never looking over your shoulder. It's never looking back. You're moving forward always. You're literally creating your future in the now. And you're designing it like a top-notch architect. Top-notch designer. And you keep refining it. And I guarantee you, you stay within, you will create it for yourself without a hesitation, without doubt. Now, being in the now stills the mind. It stills all that noise and chatter that we all have. Stills it. And we move just in beingness. So as we are in the now, we relax the body, we're in the now, we want to breathe. Want to breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. Take a nice inhale through the nose, and we hold that breath. And picture this, visualize it. You come up through the breath that you take to breathe in through the nose. And as you do this, you bring it up through the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is your groin. You come up from the groin where the sacral chakra is, all the way up to the center of the body through all of the chakras, up through the throat chakra, into the brain, and underneath your cranial cap, your skull cap. And then picture as you breath this in, this divine positive energy, and you compress it by holding that breath. You compress that into a liquid. And as you hold it, you utilize different frequencies of words to say, I am love, I am light, I am power, I am strength, I am bliss, I am joy, I am gentleness. And you hold it and you compress it into this liquid. And the liquid you disperse over the pineal gland. And as you do this, pineal gland becomes more alive, more vibrant, starts to expand and open instead of be shriveled and compressed. And as it expands, it becomes your gateway to particles of existence. And it becomes your gateway to direct connection of pure consciousness and your gateway to beyond consciousness. So we sustain this. So we create it, and we literally bathe the pineal and then we pull it back up and around and on and back up, around and on. And then as we breath in, then we breath out. As we breath out, we pull it back in. New breath each time. And visualize this happening with your pineal, this liquid frequency that we compress into liquidity and then into the pineal gland. Now, obviously, we have the ego mind. And the ego is saying, no, you don't do that. We don't need you to do that. Just stay with me. You're fine. That's all a bunch of poopy. It's not worth anything. But we're knowledgeable that the ego mind is that way. So we dismiss it. You're not in charge. I am. Please take a seat. So as we do this process, we're generating and expanding the pineal gland in our conscious awareness. Now, the divine positive energy is always a message. It's a frequency. It's a message. It's not words in the head. It's a vibrational frequency. And the vibrational frequency communicates to us, and it's always saying within. Within. All of our answers are within us. All things are within us. All of our happiness. When we finally connect with our God completely, we will be in perpetual joy and bliss. It won't be spotty like it is in the external world. It won't be intermittent. It'll be always. Think about that. Visualize it in your heart mind what that means. You will always be in bliss. It's a huge difference with the externality and the internal within. Huge difference. Some of us have come to the understanding that it is time that we step within ourselves, that we explore and find out who and what we are and embrace that, and exist there in our natural state of being, exist in our joy and our bliss and our love that we are. We are one with the heart mind. We are one with the God. We are one with pure consciousness. And we have others with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is a civilization that vibrates at a higher frequency than we do. They appear on occasion in the humanoid form to give us little nudges and little messages. And they're profound messages at times because it gets us back on track to be in deep gratitude 24/7. Like saying to ourselves, it is absolutely fantastic, phenomenal, spectacular to be living in this body, in this now. It is phenomenal. And they are consciously aware that they're the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. And the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And there could be as 50, 60,000 surrounding one of us at any time. They take up a much smaller space, but in greater number because of their frequency, their vibration. And we love them, and they love us. We have the Ascended Masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thought, many, many, many more. And they have ascended out of body and hold God form, pure consciousness. And they assist us in every way possible. We have ascended into body to experience physical form. It's just that we became disconnected a long time ago from the gods that we are. And that's ended for many of us. And they are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. We're all here together. And we are compelled to form a halo, a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation. And we come together, those of us holding physical form, arm in arm, hand in hand. We are all one. Those that are in pure conscious form, God form. So we come together and we form this circle of light, this halo. Any form that we have disappears and we become all light. And the light is so brilliant, not seen here on this planet, that it is a billion times brighter than the sun, yet it doesn't burn. It is love. It is soft, it is gentle, yet omnipotently powerful. And it grays out the darkness of space. So as we do this, we begin to literally ascend, to levitate above the planet. And we immediately are met with a gossamer field everywhere. And this gossamer field has all of these reflectors, all of these vibrant colors, glittering and reflecting in this field. And the emerald green flaming healing light comes to us as a reminder, a column that reminds us of the power of healing that each and every one of us are. We have the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds us of our power, our strength, and our resolve. We have the white fire. This is a column that reminds us that we are completely encased in the highest of high frequencies of deep eternal love and gratitude, that none of the lower frequencies can even be near us when we maintain this high frequency. This is the white fire of our armor, our protection. We have the purple transmuting flame. This is the power of the column that reminds us that we have the power to transmute any low vibrational frequencies into neutral light substance and send them back repurposing to the pure consciousness, to the God. And so if you move yourself into the lower frequencies enough and sustain those lower frequencies, you will drop the white fire and allow these low frequencies to enter. And you can use the purple transmuting flame to vanish them. And we have the violet ray. This is a column that reminds us that we can bring in right behind the purple transmuting flame, purify the area, and lift the frequencies to a high vibrational frequencies that we lowered ourselves into. So the flame, the white fire armor reassembles, and we are at high frequency, completely protected. It is our choice. And we have the golden pink white light. This is source creation. It's pure consciousness. It's deep eternal love. That's what made us. It is the highest of high frequencies. And we also see this huge column that we created. I mean, it's massive. It's larger than this solar system. And it literally glitters and shimmers as it showers waterfall 360 degrees around it, coming down and saturating, flooding, and bathing all of us in the deepest and deepest, deepest of eternal love and gratitude. Non-stop, it's eternal. So whenever you want to park yourself within yourself, hopefully majority of the time, you will have witnessed this and experience this vibrational frequency, which is off the charts. Now, as we continue to levitate, those of us carrying physical forms step out of our bodies. We float above the body. And as soon as we do this, we're compelled to call upon all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light, in the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence, and they come in the Gugaplexus. One Gugaplex will fill this universe. They come in the trillions. From every direction. Arm in arm, hand in hand, our gods with their gods, their gods with ours. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one, and we are the love. And our God light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of those inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all the one. And we are all the one, all the love, all the God. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to expand and intensify. We call upon all of the off-worlders, all the galactics, and only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude, and are consciously aware, can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. And just to name a fraction of our familiarity of these many, many, many civilizations, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Andromedans, and the Sirians. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come arm in arm, hand in hand. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They have been assisting us in our evolution and our enlightenment and our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. And arm in arm, hand in hand, they have joined us. And we are the one. And we are the love. And we are the God. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere, continues to intensify and continues to expand. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest, eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest, eternal love. And we are the one. And we are the love. And we are the God. And our God-like energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. Just to name a fraction of them: the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And only those who are of conscious awareness that they are of the highest of deepest eternal love from the highest of deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the trillions. Shapes, colors, size, forms, configurations of which many we've never seen before. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one. And we are the love. And we are the God. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And they're of the highest of deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude, the highest of highs of all frequencies. And this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It floods us. It saturates and bathes us, head to toe, inside and out, both physical and etherical. It balances us. It is of us and from us. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. And it literally reminds us that we are within. Being within is our natural state of being. Being within discovers the gods that we are. It discovers the bliss that we are, the joy that we are, the happiness. All of it. Being within. This and only this, when we do this, and we consistently practice it, will all of the externalities be completely washed away. the materialisms, the seduction, all of the external authorities will wash away. This is why we're in 5D, 5 dimension, 5 frequency. This is why we're ascending every single second. We look down upon this planet Earth, Gaia, we see the entire civilization. We see all life, the highest value in the universes. And all of them, all of our brothers and sisters, all life, are being flooded as well, whether they are conscious or not of it. And this is helping and assisting them ascend, to leave the matrix behind. Finally embrace the reality of who and what they are, of the God that they are, of the love that they are, of the bliss that they can be in always, of all the answers that they have never had answered. They will by going within. And we all will by going within. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take this with you the rest of the day into the evening and night and following morning. Go within. Be within. Once you discover the fact that your bliss is within, you will find the bliss. Within you will find the love that you are, and the peace and the joy, and our natural state of being. This is a journey we decide to take. It is a journey that lifts us out of these lower frequencies permanently into much higher frequencies. Hence, paradise and the God planet and the heaven on earth that is forming now. We'll be back here Tuesday, April 21st, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation.